The Grand Hall of the Galactic Council had never fallen silent so quickly. Hundreds of alien delegates watched as the human ambassador slowly rose from his seat, his expression calm, too calm. Behind him, the Terran delegation stood in perfect unison. "On behalf of Earth and the United Terran Coalition," he said, voice echoing through the chamber, "we hereby withdraw from all peace negotiations. Effective immediately." Gasps rippled through the room. Several council members protested, others shouted, but humanity didn't look back. Their insignias dimmed, their translation implants disconnected, and within seconds they walked out of the chamber. Tactical screens flared to life as every Terran ship undocked at once, engines burning hotter than any council vessel had ever recorded. The human fleet turned as one, then vanished into an instantaneous FTL flash. Silence. A senior council admiral exhaled shakily. "You fools," he whispered. "You never push humans to the edge. They evolve there." For the first time, the Galactic Council wondered. Had they just lost humanity, or doomed themselves? The council chamber was still ringing with the aftershock of humanity's exit when High Chancellor Vurok finally slammed her gavel down. "Order," she barked. "We must address what just happened." But everyone already knew. What happened was the consequence of a mistake, their mistake. For months, humanity had been raising alarms about unauthorized probes entering Terran space. At first, it was a few scout drones. Then a handful of deep-spectrum scanners. Then, disturbingly, a classified human research station went dark after an unidentified vessel slipped past its perimeter. Humanity brought every piece of evidence to the negotiating table. And the Council ignored it. They called it overreaction. They called humans paranoid. They called Earth a developing civilization still adjusting to interstellar norms. The human ambassador had warned them. "We survived a millennium of conflict on our own world. We recognize a threat before others even see it forming." But the Council brushed it aside. Why listen to humans? They were younger than nearly every species present. Their technology was impressive for their age, but limited. Their military, while sharp, was considered small. The Council believed they were untouchable. Until now. A hologram crackled alive above the table, an intelligence officer's report. It showed the last image recorded from the human research station, a flash of white light, a hull breach, and a brief silhouette of an unknown vessel. The room fell silent. Chancellor Vurok's expression hardened. "We dismissed them," she admitted. "We called them impatient children." Elder Sura, a species known for its perfect memory, shifted uncomfortably. And now the children have walked away. More than walked, they had made a statement. A statement the Council could not ignore. Councillor Jorek, representing a warrior race infamous for underestimating humanity, scoffed. "Let them leave. Humans are emotional. Hot-blooded. They will cool off." But Elder Sura's eyes flickered. "No," she said softly. "Humans do not cool off. They adapt. They respond. They build." She looked at the hologram again. "And they never stay silent unless something is coming." A shiver passed through the chamber. The chair turned to her aides. "Has Earth responded to any communication?" "Aide, no, Chancellor. All channels remain dark." The Council had wanted control, dominance, and leverage. Instead, they got silence. A silence that carried weight. A silence that felt like a storm gathering beyond the horizon. Chancellor Vurok exhaled slowly. "We may have just pushed the wrong species." The silence was unnatural. For years, humanity had been one of the most communicative species in the galaxy, curious, talkative, endlessly exchanging data, culture, music, and questions with anyone willing to listen. But now? Nothing. Not a whisper. Not a ping. Not even an automated diplomatic acknowledgement. Every attempt the Council made to reach Earth was met with the same cold reply. Transmission blocked by Terran protocol. Across the galaxy, species began to grow uneasy. Humanity's absence was not a void. It was pressure. A pressure that built with every passing day. 3 days after the withdrawal, Observatory Station T-91 reported the first anomaly. The entire Terran border network had gone silent. No beacon transmissions. No flight path updates. No trade signals. Then a message came from a merchant captain who tried approaching the Soul Frontier. We were warned away by an automated system. Not human-made. Something newer, something stronger. The Council's analysts grew pale. Humans didn't build automated defense systems this fast, not ones capable of scanning, identifying, and blocking ships before they even reached the perimeter. Unless they had been preparing. Not reacting. Preparing. In the command amphitheater, dozens of alien intelligence officers compared data. Human commerce halted entirely, a strategist reported. They've cut trade with every species. Military movement? Chancellor Vurok asked. A holomap flickered to life. Human fleets were relocating in massive formations, not toward the Council, but away, deeper into uncharted regions behind Terran-controlled space. Exploration, someone guessed. No, the intelligence chief said. This is consolidation. Strategic positioning. A cold dread passed through the chamber. Humans were not hiding. They were hunkering down. Like a forge heating metal before reshaping it. 2 species that bordered human space, the Kori and the Valen, sent urgent messages to the Council. We advise extreme caution. Humans are not retreating. They are reorganizing. But the Council was split. Some believed humanity was only sulking, waiting for an apology. Others believed they were preparing for war. Only a few understood the real danger. Humans were quiet. And humans were never quiet. A silent human is a thinking human. A thinking human is a building human. And a building human is a force the galaxy had seen only once before, during the expansion that led humanity from their homeworld to the stars in just 2 centuries. Then came the moment that shook the Council's confidence. A long-range probe captured an image, something massive taking form in the darkness beyond human space. A structure made of latticework rings and gravitational pylons. Energy signatures off the scale. Size, unknown. Purpose, unknown. Some thought it was a superweapon. Others believed it was a gateway. The analysts said only one thing. Humans do not build big for intimidation. They build big for a reason. Chancellor Vurok leaned back, fear settling into her bones. We've lost visibility, she whispered. The Council had pushed humanity away. But silence wasn't withdrawal. It was preparation. And soon, they would learn what for. The Galactic Council had weathered wars, plagues, and rebellions. But nothing had fractured it as swiftly as human silence. Even the chamber itself felt different, no longer a place of debate, but a battlefield of fear and ego. Councillor Jorek slammed his armored fist onto the table. This is ridiculous. Humans withdrew because they're emotional. They'll come crawling back. Elder Sura's long, silver eyes narrowed. Do you even hear yourself? Humans do not crawl. They confront. Or they disappear until they're ready. And you find that reassuring? Jorek growled. No, she whispered. I find it terrifying. A ripple of agreement passed through the softer, more diplomatic species. Many had experienced firsthand what humanity could accomplish when pressured. When humans unify, Ambassador Vesh added, they move with one mind. He leaned forward. And they only unify when they feel threatened. The chamber went quiet. Because everyone knew they had given humanity exactly that. A threat. A new briefing flickered to life, data from a scout vessel that had risked crossing near the Terran frontier. The officer reading the report looked visibly shaken. 2 days ago, we detected no wormhole activity in Terran space. Chancellor Vurok frowned. Impossible. Humanity depends on wormholes like the rest of us. The officer gulped. That's the point, he continued. Every Terran wormhole has been shut down. Gasps erupted around the chamber. Not collapsed, the officer emphasized. Closed. Manually. Cleanly. Intentionally. The implications hit them like a shockwave. Humanity had isolated themselves. A civilization that once connected worlds with trade, diplomacy, and art had cut ties with the galaxy in a calculated, controlled operation. Only a species with complete internal unity could orchestrate something so vast. Jorek's voice cracked with disbelief. They shut down their entire travel network. Sura corrected him softly. No. They shut us out. The next projection revealed new images of the unknown object humans were building. It had grown. Massively. The structure now had 4 concentric rings, each emitting gravitational pulses that bent space around them. The analysts listed possibilities. A superweapon. A transit gate. A megaforge. A shield array. A mobility enhancer. But none of the models fit. Humanity was building something new. Something the galaxy had not conceived before. Arguments broke out across the chamber. We must send a peace envoy. No, we must prepare our fleets. Humans will strike. Humans will return peacefully. They are defensive. They are unpredictable. They are too smart. They are too emotional. They are too human. The noise became unbearable until Chancellor Vurok finally stood. Enough. Silence. She looked around, weary but resolute. We dismissed their concerns. We ignored their warnings. We violated their trust. Her eyes darkened. And now they are rising. Some counselors shifted anxiously. What exactly are you suggesting? Ambassador Vesh asked. That the Council, she said slowly, may have made the single greatest diplomatic mistake in our history. No one argued. Because deep down, they all knew it was true. As the session ended, a warning alert echoed through the chamber. A new transmission. Encrypted. Alien. But not human. It came from a species living beyond Terran space, one with very little contact with the Council. The message was short. You have angered the creators of the surge. Prepare yourselves. When humans go silent, they return changed. The Council stared at the message as the lights dimmed. The cracks were no longer political. They were existential. Humanity was not just silent. Humanity was becoming something else. And soon, the entire galaxy would witness what the Council had awakened. On the far side of the galaxy, hidden behind walls of silence and folded space, the truth was finally taking shape. Humanity was not retreating. They were evolving. The Sol system, once alive with trade ships, tourists, diplomats, and science vessels, now pulsed with a quiet intensity. An impenetrable energy veil shimmered around the system like a second sun, blocking all external scans. Behind it, Earth had changed. Cities glowed brighter. Orbital rings expanded. Shipyards multiplied like constellations. What the galaxy never understood about humans was simple. Pressure doesn't break them. It forges them. And the Council had applied more pressure than they realized. For the first time in recorded history, humanity was completely, undeniably united. No borders. No factions. No rivalries. Every nation, every corporation, every research institute, every orbital colony answered to one directive. The Unified Terran Protocol. A single global objective. Advance faster than the galaxy can anticipate. 10,000 labs work day and night. Geneticists, physicists, engineers, AI researchers, everyone contributed. Even old adversaries now collaborated like old friends. War hadn't pushed them together. Insult had. Being dismissed. Being talked down to. being treated as lesser. That was the spark. The Council called them Junior. The Terrans took that personally. Deep beneath the lunar surface, the humans had unearthed something the galaxy thought lost forever. A relic of a civilization older than the Council itself. An ancient AI vault, a repository of partially intact quantum archives from a long-dead species. It had slept in silence until a human research team accidentally activated a tiny fragment. That fragment changed everything. It was not a full AI. Not even an intelligence. Just a database, fractured, corrupted, incomplete. But it contained designs. Equations. Physics models. Blueprints for technologies the Council believed impossible. And humans, unlike the other species who had discovered similar relics, did not fear it. They studied it. Built upon it. Improved it. The AI wasn't a secret. The humans' ability to understand it was. Within months, humanity's technological progress skyrocketed. They tore through barriers of physics the Council had not cracked in centuries. Faster reactors. Energy-folding drives. Subspace stabilizers. Gravitational architecture. The galaxy mistook Terran silence for anger. It was concentration. A focused, collective breath held in anticipation. In a secret construction ring far beyond Pluto, the megastructure grew. The Council feared it. The galaxy whispered about it. Rumors swirled that it was a world destroyer, a dimensional weapon, a Star Eater, a doomsday machine. But the truth was something infinitely more ambitious. It was humanity's declaration. We refuse to be small. The megastructure would not destroy worlds. It would rewrite the limitations of travel and power. It was not a weapon. It was a change. A technological leap so vast it would make the galaxy's infrastructure obsolete overnight. In the orbiting citadel known as the Astral Fortress, members of Terran High Command reviewed the final construction schedule. Admiral Seraphine Lyell, the same ambassador who walked out of the Council, stood at the center. Status report, she demanded. Ring 3 activated. Grav anchors stable. Hyperlane field coherent. Internal generators at 68%. And the Council? Lyell asked. The officer smirked. Panicking. Lyell nodded once. As they should. Old humanity had been explorers. Dreamers. Diplomats. The new humanity was something the Council never expected. Focused. Unified. Evolving. What humans were building was not meant to destroy the galaxy. It was meant to surpass it. They weren't preparing for war. They were preparing to outgrow the Council entirely. And the galaxy had no idea what that meant yet. But soon, they would. For 2 weeks, the Galactic Council tried to maintain the illusion of control. Meetings stretched for hours. Fleets were repositioned. Diplomats drafted messages that no one on Earth would ever read. But underneath the political noise, a single, suffocating truth spread like rot. They had lost the humans. And losing humans meant losing the future. Chancellor Vurok stood before the Council delegates, exhaustion carved into her features. We have reached out through every diplomatic channel. And, someone asked nervously. She shook her head. There is no response. None. Not even automated acknowledgments. A murmur of dread spread across the chamber. Jorek tried bluster again. They cannot ignore us forever. Ambassador Vesh's tail flicked in cold amusement. You still do not understand them. Humans respond when they want to respond. And right now? They want nothing from us. That's absurd. They need trade. They need nothing from the Council, Vesh snapped. They are building something new, something powerful enough that trade may soon be irrelevant to them. Even Jorek had no answer to that. Then came the moment that shattered the last illusion of safety. A Council patrol fleet near the Kori border sent a distress call. Unidentified vessels approaching. Massive energy readings. Possible human design. The transmission cut out, but the sensors kept broadcasting. Dozens of ships emerged from folded space currents. Angular. Dead silent. Their hulls shimmered with a strange refractive distortion, technology the Council had never seen. A human observation fleet. Not armed for war. Armed for warning. The flagship sent a message across every channel, every frequency, every medium. We are the Terran Observation Vanguard. Stand down. No threats. No demands. Just authority. Authority no Council fleet could challenge. A second message followed, this one unmistakably human. Admiral Seraphine Lyell's voice cut through the void. We do not seek war. Relief flickered across the Council chamber, only to die on the next sentence. But we no longer seek permission. The chamber erupted. They're challenging our sovereignty. This is a threat. They want dominion. But Elder Sura silenced them. No. Listen. The message continued. The Council violated our borders, dismissed our warnings, and acted without consequence. Lyell's tone never rose. Humans didn't need volume. They needed truth. We have changed. We are changing still. And we will not slow our ascent for the comfort of others. The transmission ended. Silence swallowed the chamber. Humanity had spoken. Not as equals. Not as supplicants. But as a rising force. Chancellor Vurak sank into her seat. We must correct this. Now. Someone whispered, is it too late? No, she snapped. It cannot be. We cannot lose them. But the truth was unavoidable. They already had. And then, just when fear settled to its deepest, the Council analysts projected the latest scan. The human megastructure was complete. The room froze. What is it? Vurak asked. We don't know, the analyst stammered. It's beyond any model. Energy output is impossible. Jorik whispered the only words anyone could find. Gods help us, what have they built? A final transmission flashed across the chamber. Short. Cold. Unmistakably final. Prepare yourselves for our terms. Humanity was not returning to negotiate. Humanity was returning to decide. The Galactic Council gathered in complete silence. Not diplomatic silence. Not political silence. This was something deeper. The silence of a civilization realizing it had misjudged its future. The lights dimmed. A single hologram ignited in the center of the chamber. Earth's transmission. Humanity had returned. The human envoy walked into the chamber, not physically, but as a full-spectrum holographic projection, sharp enough to cast shadows. Admiral Seraphine Lyell stood tall, wearing the insignia of the United Terran Ascendancy, a name the Council had never seen before. There was no anger in her voice. No bitterness. Just certainty. Council, she said, you asked for our terms. A dozen alien delegates leaned forward, trembling. She continued. Respect is not spoken. Respect is demonstrated. This time, no one dared interrupt. Lyell gestured, and the hologram shifted. The Council saw it. The colossal construct beyond Terran space. Four massive rings aligned around a glowing core. Space bent around it like ripples in liquid. Gravitational signatures pulsed with impossible intensity. Vurak whispered, horrified. Is it a weapon? Lyell actually smiled. No. It is a beginning. The projection zoomed out. The construct activated. A blinding pulse spread across its rings, space folded inward, then stretched outward like a fabric being rewoven. Distances collapsed. Lanes of travel twisted into bright, stable lines of energy. A hyperlane network, Elder Suro whispered. Lyell nodded. A hyperlane stabilizer frame. It reduces interstellar distances by a factor of 100. The council erupted. That's impossible. That violates every known law. No species could. Lyell raised a hand. Not with the physics you know. But with the physics we discovered, it is simply the next step. The chamber trembled, not from fear but from the weight of what this meant. Trade routes obsolete. Council power fractured. Galactic travel rewritten. All by its junior species. Lyell continued calmly. You feared we were preparing for war. You were wrong. She stepped closer, the hologram sharpening with intention. We are preparing for leadership. Not conquest. Not domination. Leadership. Our hyperlane frame will open new routes throughout the galaxy. Faster travel. Faster aid. Faster growth. She paused. But we will not allow the Council to dictate our position in the galaxy ever again. For the first time in its history, the Galactic Council bowed. Chancellor Vurok spoke with a trembling voice. Humanity, we wronged you. We underestimated you. We overstepped. We request forgiveness. The chamber held its breath. Humanity had every reason to deny them. Every reason to walk away forever. But Lyell only nodded slowly. Forgiveness is granted. Forgetfulness is not. Relief crashed through the chamber like a tidal wave. Lyell closed the transmission with words that would echo through history. We did not come back for revenge. We came back to uplift what you allowed to stagnate. This galaxy needs change. And humans. We thrive on change. The hologram flickered out. The chamber exhaled. A new era had begun. Not the age of the Council. Not the age of the old empires. But the dawn of something the galaxy had never experienced.